Hello, Oracles. My goodness, Tesla had another wonderful day yesterday, outperforming the market. The entire market was red, and Tesla was green. And starting the day today, Tesla is continuing its green run while the market is starting to slide a little bit. We have some uncertainty going on today. We have Jerome Powell that is going to be coming out and speaking at 12:40 p.m. Eastern Time. So, does this mean that Tesla is going to break $200 or is it going to fall down? We will discuss that in just a minute. All right, so looking at the charts, yesterday we were up 2.5%, closing at 194.76. This morning, at the time of this recording, we are up 0.75% to 196.21. So we do have the RSI still in the overbought range at 73.58. So again, we've been battling around this $200 level, bouncing and trying to push up against it, starting to remind me a little bit of that $313 level. So again, I want us to break it. I think we could potentially do it, but there's a lot going on in this month that's happening. We've got the Jerome Powell coming out and speaking today. Jobs were very hot last week, and that's kind of one of those indications that the Fed needs to continue raising interest rates because while unemployment being low is a very good thing for the economy, with the situation we're in right now, it's a little too hot. So it's kind of indicating to me that we may see, 25, maybe a 50 basis point hike. Jerome Powell did say that they will continue raising rates as needed as they see fit based upon the data that they have coming in. So again, we just need to be patient and wait to see what's going to be happening. We will be getting the CPI report 1 week from today. So on the 14th, we will get that information that could give us more indication as to what the Fed could be doing with interest rates come March. And as Nick Gibbs says here, Jerome Powell speaks at 12:40 Eastern Time. Odds are he will have to address the Friday jobs report. Will he punt? Will he offer optimism? Or will he rug pull the market? By end of day, we will either be over $200 or below 190, in my opinion, not financial advice. And so again, nobody knows what is actually going to happen, but chances are Jerome Powell is going to come out with some sort of intention. We have to remember too, when it comes to inflation, that if the market continues to run the way it has been, that could self-perpetuate more inflation as well. So we kind of want to tame that. And that's part of what the Fed had been doing all year last year, is every time we kind of saw a little bit of a run, they would come out and say something hawkish to kind of squash that rally and bring the market down. Right now, we've seen a massive run in the market, especially in Tesla. And obviously, Jerome Powell isn't looking at Tesla specifically when it comes to stock runs, but Tesla does run more than the market with the beta of 2.0 and a lot of options that get dumped into it. We saw a much bigger run in Tesla than we saw in many other stocks. But the entire market did rally very nicely over the last month. So are we due for a pullback? Again, we just need to wait and see. I am anticipating this. I am anticipating a recession for probably Q2 and Q3. How deep it's going to get, I truly don't know. But I do see a lot of jobs getting cut from a lot of places. We've got Alibaba, who just announced an 11% job cut. We've got Dell, who just announced that they're cutting 6,500 jobs. Meanwhile, last year, Tesla added 28,000 jobs to the company, and that is massive. So that is showing excellent growth, especially during difficult economic times. So the jobs are out there. And when we're looking at the jobs being added, last week we saw over 500,000 jobs being added. This is phenomenal news. All of these job openings that we have been seeing over the last couple of years, now they're starting to fill back up again. Less employers are out there struggling to find people. This is the turn we had been talking about previously. Over the last year, we had seen that employees kind of ruled the day, and they can kind of dictate to employers what they wanted because employers were so desperate to find help. Now we're starting to see that turn coming back where employers are coming back to get that upper hand again. I hate discussing it that way because it really shouldn't be that way. But when it comes to capitalism and employers getting the best talent for themselves, this is just how it works. So now they can go out there, instead of just filling those positions with any warm body that they can get, they can actually go out there and find the best qualified body for that position. And that's what we're starting to see happening. And that's what's going to end up happening over the next 6 to 12 months. And another thing that we are seeing that is a little concerning is unusual whales coming out saying, breaking 64% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, a near all time high per CNBC. Now, my comment to this is I would say I'm one of them, but that's just because I choose to be and I live a very simple life and I invest the rest of my money. So, for those of you who are members and patrons, you guys can see all of my income, investments, and expenses on a weekly basis. And I will be having that video coming out for all of you guys on here as well to show how I was for the month of January. And, I show all that just to be transparent with you guys to say, look, I'm a little guy, but this is what I am doing with my money. I'm coming out of my debt. I'm putting all of my money into these certain places for investments so that I can get myself to a point of financial freedom in the future. But I am still basically, because of all those investments, living paycheck to paycheck. But again, that's my own choice. I don't have to be doing it that way, but I'm doing it so that I can invest in the future. But to hear that there are many other people out there who are actually living paycheck to paycheck makes me question one of two different things. Are they overextending themselves and spending too much money on other things that they don't actually need and living outside of their means? Or is it because expenses have just gotten so high that they are actually struggling and can't get by because of the expenses being so high? Perhaps it's the place that they live. I do not have any other data or criteria to go along with this statement, but that is concerning. And so, a lot of that, there's a lot of disconnects along the way in the macro environment between the jobs market being so hot, inflation being so high, interest rates going up significantly. This is still uncertainty. And one of the things I like to pay attention to is I love the run that we have been going on over the last month. I know all of you guys love it as well, but you have to be realistic. And an 80% run in Tesla over a month is not healthy. It is not the signs of a healthy and good stock market. It is the sign of an uncertain stock market because that's the kind of volatility you see in an uncertain place. So again, not to spread FUD or scare anyone or be bearish, but just being realistic, there's a lot of uncertainty we still need to get through. The tensions over in Ukraine and Russia seem to be worse than a lot of people think. Elon had mentioned that himself. We've got issues, maybe tensions building with China and the US. So if we are looking for catalysts that could potentially bring us down from here, there's a lot of them out there on a major macro level. You just need to take a step out of the Teslaverse to see all of this. On the Teslaverse side of things, again, going forward, once we get through these difficult times, maybe we don't pull down as far as I think. I don't know how far down we could potentially pull. Truly don't know. But if we do end up pulling down, when we come out of this, all of the fundamentals that we learn about Tesla this year and what we learned last year are what are going to propel us coming out of this significantly. And of course, we have Investor Day that is coming up. So the big question that a lot of us have right now is, are we going to kind of trade sideways and up a little bit into Investor Day and then get a sell the news situation? Or are we just going to come down before then? Maybe Investor Day gives us a little bit of a boost and then we're going to come down after that if the macro environment's going to be coming down. Or maybe we come down and Investor Day gives us that boost and propels us back up over 200. Again, a lot of uncertainties, but what I'm looking at is the macro environment and us being still very uncertain and just don't know where the future is going to take us. This is why I am preparing so much with so much cash. I just added another $4,000 into a CD at 4.2% because I know that with all of this money in there, I know I'm going to be getting at least 4% returns on that money. So even if the stock market does not continue to rally, I will make money there. And then once we do see the signs that the economy is back in a stable place, that is when I will be adding much more money to the stock market itself. That's really the sign I'm looking for. If you're looking for where is the bottom going to be, maybe 101 was the bottom. But when it comes to when are we actually going to see that true bull run begin again, that I think is going to happen when we actually see the economy itself finally calm itself down and we can have a clear vision as to what's going on in the future. This is going to involve the Fed pivoting. This is going to involve the jobs market not being so hot and us actually growing and progressing at a nice, steady manner like the Fed wants us to see. That is truly what is going to point to the bull market that we want to see again, not the run that we have seen recently. So now getting back over to Tesla specific, we've got Open Skies sharing the new energy vehicle insurance registrations for China. Looks like last week, BYD had 24,280, Tesla had 8,643, and NIO came in third with 1,948. And now, as Jess points out here, last week was the first work week after the Chinese New Year holiday, but many Chinese people's holiday will extend to the 15th day of the first month of the lunar calendar, February 5th this year, especially for migrant. And so it looks like Tesla's numbers were very good for last week, especially considering the Chinese holiday. So this next week going forward will be the first week that we see that is back to normal over in China outside of the holidays, and we will see what the numbers look like at that point. And now to finish off the day on something exciting, we've got connecting the dots coming here. And in that Cybertruck video that many of us have seen, I was super thrilled about the back wheels turning. We knew that it was going to happen, but seeing it in action was awesome. But connecting the dots here, pointing out these two vehicles. Are they two new Tesla vehicles? If you had watched his video recently, he was discussing the Model Tau potentially being one. That's just a name that he threw out there for them. But these definitely don't look like models that we have seen before. Are they even Teslas under there? They've got the covers on them so that nobody can see what's going on, but very interesting to see. And you guys can leave your thoughts in the comments below as to what you think these two vehicles are. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Again, we're going to be paying attention to Jerome Powell speaking at 12:40 today. That $200 level is going to be that level that we are watching. Can we break through it? If we can, we could potentially be running to 220 or 235. If not, we may be pulling back down to that 150 level, maybe filling that gap at 146. So those are the two different ways I am seeing this playing out. Again, we just need to wait and see what happens over time to see which way we end up moving. And I do want to thank you guys all for your patience. I know I've been kind of inconsistent with videos as of late. My full-time job has just been draining me completely and just completely wiped out. So I'm trying to take care of my own personal health because that is the number one important thing for me. But I'm also expanding some things onto other platforms as well. Those of you who follow me on Twitter, you're seeing some of my other content there. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and things like that also. So if you guys want to follow me on all of those, you're more than welcome to there. We can have different types of conversations about a whole lot of different stuff also, even outside of Tesla. So if you guys are interested, you guys can feel free to check that out as well. So otherwise, I am working hard. I hope you guys are working hard because this year I think is going to be a year we can really invest and see a great return on that investment in the future. And otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one.